Hello, everybody. Oops. This is going on chapter 18, Revelation. And again, speaking of specific country, or still speaking about Rome, Vatican, or the entire world. Not positive. Now, in chapter 17, initially thought it was talking about the United States. It could be any country, but going through chapter 17, to me, it spoke more of the Vatican and Rome. After this, I saw another. Remember, it ended with the woman you saw is the great city that rules over the kings of the earth. It's been Vatican. After this, I saw another angel coming down from heaven. He had great authority, and the earth was illuminated by his splendor. With a mighty voice, the earth illuminated, being his light shining, lighting the whole earth. With a mighty voice, he shouted, "Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great," which is who was in control and power at this exact moment. "She has become a dwelling for demons and a haunt for every impure spirit. A haunt for every unclean bird, a haunt for every unclean and detestable animal. All the nations have drunk the maddening wine of her adulteries. The kings of the earth committed adultery with her, and the merchants of the earth grew rich from her excessive luxuries." Then I heard another voice from heaven say, calling peoples out of her. "Come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins. You turn against her, turn away from her. Rebuke, turn to the light, the truth, so that you will not receive any of her plagues. For her sins are piled up to heaven, and God has remembered her crimes." Remember, nothing escapes him. "Give back to her as she has given. Pay her back double for what she has done. Pour her a double portion from her own cup," which is deny you, reject you. Just give it back to her. Reject her. Reject them that lead you astray now. Give her as much torment and grief as the glory and luxury she gave herself. In her heart she boasts, "I sit enthroned as queen. I am not a widow. I will never mourn." Place themselves as self-exalting themselves. These leaders in the ultimate leader that they speak of. Therefore, one day her plagues will overtake her. Everything's going to turn in on these evil. Death, mourning, and famine, she will be consumed by fire, for mighty is the Lord God who judges her. And all those who follow her and adhere to her and stick to her, to him or it. When the kings of the earth who committed adultery with her, those who followed him, it, and shared in the luxury, see the smoke of her burning, they will weep and mourn over her. Terrified at her torment, they will stand far off and cry, "Woe, woe to you, great city, you mighty city of Babylon! In 1 hour your doom has come." And they'll be crying, "Oh my God!" They'll realize what fools they were. And then the merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her, because no one will buy their cargoes anymore. And mentions all these cargoes of gold, silver, precious stones, pearls, fine linen, purple silk, and scarlet cloth, every sort of citron wood, and articles of every kind made of ivory, costly wood, bronze, iron, and marble, cargoes of cinnamon, spice, of incense, myrrh, and frankincense, of wine and olive oil, of wine, fine flour and wheat, cattle and sheep, horses and carriages, and human beings sold as slaves. They will say, "The fruit you long for is gone from you." I mean, nobody wants to buy it because they don't need it. "All your luxury and splendor have vanished, never to be recovered. Merchants who sold these things and gained their wealth from her will stand far off, terrified at her torment. They will weep and mourn and cry out as well, 'Woe, woe to you, great city, dressed in fine linen, purple, and scarlet, and glittering with gold, precious stones, and pearls.'" They do at the Vatican. "In 1 hour such great wealth has been brought to ruin." Be taken from it. Doesn't do any good. It's like all that you hoard for yourself doesn't do any good. All those get rich, no one's going to buy you because there'll be no power, no electrical power that we rely on for everything. So no one's going to buy your stuff because you can't use it. You're living and trying to survive off the land, what's available. "Every sea captain, and all who travel by ship, the sailors, and all who earn their living from the sea will stand far off. When they see the smoke of her burning, they will exclaim, 'Was there ever a city like this great city?' They will throw dust on their heads, and with weeping and mourning cry out, 'Woe, woe to you, great city, where all who had ships on the sea became rich through her wealth. In 1 hour she has been brought to ruin. Rejoice over her, you heavens. Rejoice, you people of God. Rejoice, apostles and prophets. For God has judged her with the judgment she imposed on you.'" So how she judged you and how she treated you and deceived you, God's going to throw that right back on it. Right back on the evil. Then a mighty angel picked up a boulder the size of a large millstone and threw it into the sea and said, "With such violence, the great city of Babylon will be thrown down, will be brought down, never to be found again. Darkness will be gone from this world. The music of harpists and musicians, pipers and trumpeters will never be heard in you again. No work of any trade will ever be found in you again. The sound of a millstone will never be heard in you again. The light of a lamp will never shine in you again. The voice of bridegroom and bride will never be heard in you again. Your merchants were the world's important people. We're the world's most important people. By your magic spell, all the nations were led astray." Led everybody astray. Think of all this technology, all this stuff that's coming out. Everybody wants the newest and newest. They don't want the old stuff. It's happening now. In her, by your magic spell. It means let's look at Apple. You got people paying more and more money. Every new version comes out every year. And then the updates. That's a prime example right there. Magic spell. All the nations were led astray. In her was found the blood of prophets and of God's holy people, of all who have been slaughtered on the earth. In her was found the blood of prophets. Where would that be? In the Vatican. In the church. All the churches. It's the devil. So hope that understood. Give you some understanding. And next time will be chapter 19. Peace of Christ. God bless.